Hello everyone, welcome back to All Star Potter. So, as some of you may know, ever since the community feature came out on YouTube, I've been using it to give you guys little polls about the Marauders and things that, like, what's your opinion kind of thing. So, yeah, today we're going to be seeing your responses and then I'll share what my response might have been. So, here is my first ever one. It says, "Hey besties, I'm just testing this feature out. So, which is your favorite Marauders era ship?" So, the winner, by a long shot, was Wolfstar. Personally, my OTP is Jilly, or Flower Pot, whatever you want to call it. That's my response. I mean, I love Wolfstar, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's an amazing ship. They've got such a great storyline. And, like, Dorleen and Regulus, too. I don't like Black Cannon. That's a friendship. Or, like, a ploy or whatever. That's it. No, I don't care what Joanne says. It was never explicitly in the books. All he said was that she died. No. So yeah. Then again, Dorleen and Regulus couldn't even have been mentioned in the books either, but we're gonna completely ignore that. But yeah, Jilly, I think that their story is a really great, because they both develop as characters and grow into that relationship, and like, I love it. All right, I asked, this was probably like right before Halloween, I asked, how are you gonna celebrate Jillyween? So the winner was crying. I actually went to a party. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself. So yeah, probably crying too. I saw a lot of sad edits that day. A lot of sad edits. I also had like a competition kind of thing that I went to, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So the next one is, which Marauder do you kin? And it has a link to the video explaining which Marauder I kin, which my result was Mooney, which I probably knew, because I definitely relate to Remus's character a lot. But I also do relate to Wormtail and Padfoot and Prongs. I don't know. But yeah, above all, Mooney for sure. Who do you ship with Regulus Black? So I can only put 5 things on these polls, like that's the limit. So I can't put certain things. And also, I haven't read, everyone's been commenting on this one in particular. I think it's like Mary Rose or something. That's who they ship with him. It's from some fic I haven't read, but I kind of want to, because like, it seems like people are like interested in it and you guys have good taste. So might have to check that out. The top answer was James. And I thought Jegulus was a crack ship at first, but I've started reading choices. I'm addicted. I literally cannot stop reading. Like, I should be paying attention in class. I have midterms next week. But oh my goodness, it's just there's so much depth, and it's funny. It's everything. Highly recommend it. It's on AO3 if you guys want to go find it. But I kind of like Barty and Regulus. It makes sense canonically. But also Jegulus. I don't know. I can't choose. Pandora and Regulus, I really like that as a friendship. And I like the headcanon that they were like really close and they were working together to stop Voldemort. And he gave her the Horcrux to destroy, or he told Creature to give her the Horcrux to destroy. And all the crazy spells Luna said her mom was like doing, and that's what got her killed. She was trying to destroy a Horcrux, and she wasn't able to destroy it with a spell because you need a really powerful magical item. Who do you ship with Remus? 1, Tonks. 2, Sirius. 3, Grant, and then I added some combinations. 2, Sirius, just Sirius. 1. And I agree with that. I love Grant. He is the son. But like, him and Remus, their relationship, it was good because they were able to rely upon each other, and they were both 2 very broken characters who needed somebody. But Remus never loved Grant the way that he loved Sirius, and Grant loved Remus the way Remus loved Sirius, but he couldn't reciprocate that in the same manner, which I don't think it was really fair to either of them. And when he said it was breaking my heart to stay, broke my heart to read. But yeah, I love Grant, I love Remus. I think they needed each other, but I wouldn't say I would ship it because it was necessary, but they needed to move on, and Remus and Sirius are amazing. Tonks and Remus, it was very much two people in the middle of a war who felt like their lives were ending, or like two people in the middle of the war not knowing what they're doing and needing someone to latch onto. Because the ages, that's gross. That's very much like forced together by something crazy going on. If there wasn't a war, they wouldn't have happened. And after the war ended, if they hadn't, they wouldn't have lasted, other than maybe for the support of Teddy. I think they would have been good co-parents, but they wouldn't have been a good couple. It doesn't make sense. Which year 1 to 4 movie or book was your favorite? Whichever you picked, what was the one thing from that book you're upset that they left out of the movie? The winner by a long shot, not surprisingly because this is a Marauders channel, was The Prisoner of Azkaban, and that is my response too. And, as I'm about to say, I'm upset that they left out most of the Marauders' backstory in the movies. We didn't really get that same, explanation of who the Marauders were, what the whole Animagus situation was. Because if you only watch the movies, how would you know that Harry thought his dad was the guy who cast the Patronus? Because in the movies, they never explained that his dad was a deer. No, he was a moose. But we're not going to get into that. If you don't know that joke, get on TikTok. Get out from under your rock. I'm only kidding. But I'm not. It's an interesting headcanon to listen to. Which characterization of Remus do you like the best? Books or greater than life Remus won, but it was pretty close. I don't know. It's hard to choose from. I don't like soft boy Remus. I think it's weird. Rough and angry Remus makes sense. I liked the beginning of all the young dudes when he was like that, because it allowed for character development and it allowed him to break down all of these walls that he built, and it made the story, it gave the story so much depth, and I really enjoyed it. But that's definitely not the characterization of Remus I like the best. The unbothered Remus, I think it's funny, but awkward Remus, I think I do like awkward Remus, but I also do like cocky Remus. But I don't feel like Remus would be cocky, but the sort of way that he knows he's hot, but he's also awkward. I don't know. But books over life Remus, no matter what universe we're in, it makes sense. So I'm gonna go with that. I said opinions. So they were rivals, won by 2% to, I don't know, but fuck Snape. And I saw some people vote for Snape was a bully. Nobody voted for James was a bully. Nobody voted for, I don't know, but fuck James. So I agree, James wasn't a bully, but I don't think Snape was a bully. I think they were rivals. The Snape's worst memory scene, that was very much things had been building. A lot had built up to that point, and just taking it out of context, as we saw in the books and the movies, we didn't get to see the backstory, because obviously James was in the wrong in that situation, and Snape wound up in the wrong when he called Lily a literal slur and then expected her to still be his friend. And he's like, oh, I redeemed myself because I was in love with her. Now shut up. You're done. Yeah, they were definitely rivals. There was a lot of tension between those two, and they were definitely at each other's throats. Definitely James and Sirius against Snivellus and possibly Mulciber, but a lot of the times against Snivellus alone. And I don't know, but fuck Snape is a valid response as well. So if you click that, cool. But yeah, I think my opinion on these is that they were rivals. And like Harry and Draco, you can see one of them snapping at some point and doing something crazy, just like Harry snapped at Draco and used Sectum Sempra. I mean, he didn't know what it would do, but like it's a similar situation. I think those two parallels, they line up a little bit. Just because like they were very much like pitted against each other. They were in opposing houses that had had tension for centuries, and they were on opposing sides of a war that had been building up since like I think 1970 or 1969 or something. But yeah, they were us. I'm going on and on. Next question. Who is your least favorite Indirect Harry Potter villain? Umbridge 1. I mean, all of these are people that are indirect villains that are unlikable. I wouldn't click Wormtail simply because young Peter, like before the betrayal, before he started to go the wrong direction, he was a marauder. Like that's the whole point of the betrayal. He was their friend and he was great to them and they were great to him. And like it was a good friendship until shit happened, the war ruined them. But I think I gotta pick Dumbledore because he was portrayed, the other ones were portrayed as villains, but he was portrayed as a hero because it was through the eyes of Harry, who he manipulated into thinking that he was like above everyone else and he was amazing. And he like took Harry out of this world, put him in an abusive home, and then he got to be the hero to take him out of it and give him this wonderful land of magic where he's like a celebrity. And then he uses Harry to get his agenda done. He pulls him out of school to go to that cave where Regulus died and like has to watch him go through that whole thing. He's doing this. Harry was like 16 at the time. That's disgusting. And the whole he made sure that Harry's whole life was not just planned so that he would die, but it was planned so that he would go willingly. Like that was the whole point. And then yeah, it killed the Horcrux when he died, so then he got to come back alive because it didn't kill him, which I was grateful for because if he killed Harry, I think we don't need words for that. Moving on. Which Slytherin do you think was redeemed in their alleged redemption arc? Mr. Swimmy's Regulus 1. And I agree. Old Snively? No, not redeemed. The Ferret? Not redeemed. No. Pick a Marauders era artist / band. A lot of the comments, and by a lot, I mean, you guys see there are 8, which not a lot, but still, yeah, I'm pretty sure all of them are about me not putting Queen, because I forgot to put that in. I think I gotta pick Bowie, but also I love T-Rex. Like, their songs are so good. Like, I got into it because of the Marauders. Like, I'd never heard of them before, but I love their songs. But also ABBA. Like, Mamma Mia was amazing. And their music. And then AC/DC. Oh. I'm going to pick all. Yep. Yeah, I'm going with all. Okay. When did you first start reading the books / watching the movies? I started reading them in 3rd grade, so elementary / primary school, which is the winning vote. So, yeah. Which position would you play in Quidditch? So the chaser was the winner. I think I would probably be either a chaser or a beater. When I used to play soccer, I was a forward or midfield, so that gives chaser vibes. But also, like, I feel like beating the hell out of a bludger, that just seems like something I would enjoy doing as well. I don't think I would be a seeker. I don't know if I have the patience. And the mascot, that's, I don't do well with public humiliation. And the keeper, I'm not a good goalie. No. Like, sometimes I'd be in my backyard and, like, my brother would practice shooting goals on me or something. It was more fun to be the one shooting the goals. So, I'm gonna go with Chaser. Like 30% of you guys. Opinions on Peter. I love young Pete, but I hate the rat wins, and I agree with that. It was Dumbledore's fault, not entirely his. I am interested in the headcanon that Dumbledore had something to do with the whole thing with Peter joining the Death Eaters and Peter being the spy. I don't know, I feel like maybe he knew or maybe something was up with it, because if he knew and he let Sirius like rot in Azkaban, I'm gonna have a word with, I don't know, Pete, a word. Favorite Sirius era. Glass Closet Sirius, years 6 to 7, won by a long shot, and I agree. Like, I feel like he was just fun, because it's like their prime. It's like they're just having fun, and they're also more mature than kids, like little kids. They're still kids. That's the whole point, that they're kids who are forced into war, but this is like just before they're officially forced into that war, so they still have that last bit of innocence as well as more maturity coming onto them. So I enjoy that. They're, yeah. Which twin terrors do you prefer? I don't know. I really want to know more about the Pruitts. I want someone to write a Pruitts fan fiction. So I gotta pick the Weasleys, because, I mean, we've got more Weasleys content. But, like, I don't know. Pruitts are the original model. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pick the Weasleys. Also, I really, like, one night I wanted to, like, stay up and just write a fan fiction about Fred, George, Lee, and Angelina's friend group, because I feel like it's just so interesting. I could probably make a whole video about that. Like, I didn't stay up that whole night. I decided to go and, what did I do? Oh, I think I watched Total Drama Island, and I fell asleep. Yeah, I didn't end up writing the fic, but maybe I'll do a video on it, because that's, yeah, I'm not gonna have the whole commitment to write a whole fan fiction. Finish the sentence. James Potter is and himbo one. I love the idea of James of being a himbo, but at the same time, he was definitely like smart. Like I feel like he was like top of the year in Transfiguration, and McGonagall loved him. He was her head boy. He was her like top student. Actually, I think a few years Lily did beat him. They were always competing for the same spot. She loved the two of them. They were like her two favorite students. Then they got together, and then he made Harry, who like she ended up, have a biscuit, Potter. She put him on the Quidditch team when he was in first year, because she realized the talent that he had, and she bought him his first broom. We love Minerva McGonagall. I know a lot of people don't like that she bought him a broom and not like Fred or George, because they couldn't afford it. But I don't think it was about the money. First of all, he wasn't allowed to bring a broom to school, so there was no way he would have been able to get one. But also, like, I feel like that was her way of sort of just giving him the affection that he needed, because like Lily and James, who she knew were two of the most loving and amazing students she ever had, he missed out on getting to know them. He missed out on them. And I feel like that was her way of giving him a piece of Lily and James. That's something they would have done for him if they had been given the chance. I'm gonna make myself cry here. This is just a YouTube video. Calm down. Whew. Okay, best friendship. James and Sirius won. I can't pick between James and Sirius, or Remus and or James and Remus, or Sirius and Marley. I love all of the duos. Like, I feel like each friendship deserves its own like special recognition. I can't pick a best. I think I made this question. It's a trick question. The answer is all of the above. Who's your ideal boyfriend? Go. Remus won. As much as I love Remus, as much as I relate to him, as much as I'm in love with this man, he's got a lot of issues. I do like, oh, I could fix him or whatever, and like, but I feel like he'd be a lot to handle, and also Sirius and Remus. And James, I feel like he'd be the perfect boyfriend. He's just so romantic and loving, and he just wants to give. But I also feel like that would make me feel guilty, because I would feel like I wasn't like putting in as much in the relationship as he is. And also James and Lily, I don't want to break that up, but we're gonna ignore ships here. Who's just, in general, if there was a reincarnation, I gotta say, I'd pick James. Okay, because J.K. Rowling is continuing to be transphobic and invalidating trans people, those who are assigned male at birth in particular, how about we pick our favorite trans Harry Potter headcanons? If I didn't include yours, comment it below. So there are 20 comments here. There's a whole bunch of other like great ones. Regulus one, I like that headcanon, but even though it's the lowest response, it's only 5%, I gotta say Ron. Like, I think I heard it like a little while ago, and it just makes so much sense with his character, especially his relationship with his mom. Pick a quote from the Philosopher's Stone, Chapter 1, The Boy Who Lived, Marauder's Stand Edition. So I was rereading it, as per usual, and I decided to like pick out some quotes, because Chapter 1 is Marauder's era. It's in 1981. So the winner is, young Sirius Black lent it to me. Sorry for the bad impression. It was Hagrid about the bike. My answer is going to be, he couldn't kill a little boy? When she said that about Voldemort, I died. I rolling on the ground. That was funny. I enjoyed that. Just, I'm living for her slandering people. It's hilarious. The best young Remus fan cast. Andrew Garfield won, unsurprisingly. All of these people, in different ways, they very much are young Remus. They embody him. I think I'm going to have to stick with Andrew Garfield because, you know, he's the fan cast, like the main one, and I like him as that. Like, it makes sense. Pick a chapter, or a group of them, to bring to a deserted island out of these. These are all the Young Dudes chapters, if you didn't know. I highly recommend the fic if you haven't read it, or you can read it along with me, as I do an audiobook on this channel. You guys picked Summer 1977, and I picked Summer 1977. Those chapters are my happy place. If I need cheering up, I'm going there. Best canon Harry Potter ship out of these limited options. James and Lily won. I think I'm gonna have to go with James and Lily. If we're gonna go with Lightning Era though, I gotta pick Ron and Hermione because, oh my god, like, that's the best, like, sort of enemies to friends to lovers. Like, they relied upon each other. They slowly fell in love. And I feel like throughout the years, like, it went back and forth. One of them liked the other, but the other didn't like them, and then the other liked them, but they didn't like them. And it was like a little bit of a back and forth, and then they finally got together. Yes, very much yes. I said knew all the Young Dudes chapters out, meaning I posted on my audiobook, which says go watch it now, if you want to watch it now. Not now. Finish this video first. So, what's the best ship that isn't in all the Young Dudes? Dorleen. You guys said it, I say it. It's the only correct answer. Who's the biggest, most serial girl? Sirius won, as he should. Yes, as I said, only correct answer. And then, finally, who is your love interest in a Friends to Lovers arc? I gotta pick Marlene. Yep. I feel like that's a great Friends to Lovers. You guys picked Remus. Honestly, all of these are viable options. All of the above. No, I'm going with Marlene. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a wonderful, wonderful day.